A simple idea, a simple way of planning and management can bring an entire system towards a larger goal.
Hello and welcome to Up Close and Personal at Invoked Studio. My name is Rhea and I'm your host for today. And today we're going to dive deep into the heart of leadership and education equity. I have with me Mr. Sajjan R IAS. He's the director of SCERT in Bihar and has been leading educational transformation in areas like project-based learning in the classrooms, improving monitoring and evaluation, and many other educational reforms. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here with us, and I'm very excited to talk with you today.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I'm going to start by asking you to help us understand how has collective action enabled all of the work that is happening in Bihar today in education?
As I had entered into SCRT, the entire role and responsibilities of the institution was to promote research and training of the entire education system, provide good academic policy advice to the government. I felt that there was a little bit of weakness in this particular aspect. Their roles were not properly fulfilled. So we had just gotten an enriched cadre of Bihar Education Service of research and training cadre. They were all working in the separate in isolations. They were just focused more on diploma, giving training for diploma holders for elementary education, B.Ed, M.Ed, etc. Right. So it was important. We found that they had talent. It was a new raw talent that had just come into the system. So they were easy to be molded. So we trained them. We focused on a very enriched induction training for them, 84 days residential at SCRT. Once they were trained, we immediately started giving them dual purposes, a clear set of goals, so that we gave them a simple responsibility. Look, you have to train all the teachers in Bihar, whoever arrived in the system. So they all started preparing, they started using the knowledge. So basically a collaboration started towards a single goal. Everybody came together. Science teachers, they trained special in science like PBL, computer science in computer, language in language, FLN, etc., etc. Right. So it really helped that a simple idea, a simple way of planning and management can bring an entire system towards a larger goal.
So that sounds fantastic. Congratulations on helping enable that. That sounds very challenging as well.
Yeah,
so I'd like to dive deeper into the challenges of bringing a diverse group of people, both in role, function, and ways of working together. What are some challenges that you face while enabling collective action or partnerships between different wings?
Yeah, the diversity we had, the problem basically we faced initially was initially getting a allocation of required funds to train the required number of teachers. So there were a little bit pushback from certain sections of the government, within the government or within the within the system. They were used to a certain type of life where there is not too much pressure on their day-to-day job. And there were certain students, also teachers from various backgrounds. They were not much. They were not used to having a residential setup of training, which we were more interested towards. They wanted to go back home and spend time with their family. So we had to face these kind of issues, and we were started tackling it one by one. We stressed the importance of training. The central government has provided some budget. We wanted to top it off with the state, and we merged it together. And we various stakeholders, we trained them, we oriented them towards what exactly we required, the best of the best quality we wanted. We interviewed certain best resource persons, and we brought them into the system. So challenges were galore at the initial first 2 months. There were a lot of negative feedback which we are getting. Quality was not good, quality of training wasn't good, quality of food wasn't being provided, the residential facilities were not good, too many power cuts, and mosquitoes, and night they were not able to. These were the issues which kept cropping from. So this instantaneous feedback, we used to start getting daily feedback. We created a system where we get the feedback on the same day. So same day we started resolving, we were giving direction, this has to be done within 24 hours. So a little bit pressure from our side really helped, the various issues that come. Then now it has become a bit normalized actually.
Okay. And that's fantastic, and we hope to see that grow, that spirit of working together grow as well. Jumping into similar lines, I want to bring to light that not just government wings working together, but CSOs also coming together to do collective action, work together towards impact, is now becoming a thing. We are seeing organizations with various expertise areas come together and contribute to helping the state partners like you. What words of wisdom and inspiration would you like to share with them? Because like you said, collective action can be challenging sometimes, but there's also a richness of diversity in perspective that comes with it. So what would you like to share with the NGOs that are watching this today?
Yeah, gee, the NGOs and CSOs which are actually working with the government, they are the nearest thing we have as a government to get in touch with the market requirements. So they do piloting, they have their own research wings, they do piloting in various states, they bring in knowledge of other states, other countries, and which is not readily available to us because we are too our focus is too diversified, and we are not able to focus on what's required sometimes. When they work closer with us, when we listen to them, we give them the space and the time to provide their views, to present their views. So that time we get to know that yes, there is more scope to qualitatively improve our programs. So that is, and there are sometimes CSOs, they have their own priorities, which I'm not it might not be aligned with the government's priorities at that point of time, which of course everything they say is definitely required. They have done their research, they have done their piloting, they are providing evidence-based to make a evidence-based policy. But at current point of time, it might not be the required priority of the government. So at that time, there might be a little gap of communication, there might be disinterest on both parties. But when they do get aligned, the magic begins to happen. People, when they are able to give a more enriched feedback on the current programs, where government is also interested, they are also interested. So positive energy is aligned. And we were able to get this from the institute, the Mantra for Change, for example, where they have always been supporting because their main agenda was leadership and diet empowerment. So this is what exactly we did actually. We had to strengthen the diets and the other training institutions and SCERT itself. So automatically when they get strengthened, they are able to perform their functions in an efficient manner. So, and they've started, they've taken one particular subject, which is science, which is good. You cannot do everything at the same time, so which is important subject also. They did it in a more creative way. I mean, they proposed that this need can be done. So we gave the entire module, prepared the module for us. I mean, how the textbook should be the center of your focus. That from there the children has to pick understand the concepts, so that do projects, science, whatever. So we gave them the space, we gave them the freedom. They did what we gave, what they gave it to us without much intervention. We approved as such. We trained these education service officers on this, and then the effects are very nice actually because of this healthy collaboration. So the teachers, when we go to the schools directly, we are able to see the teachers actually doing those experiments, which was taught in during that training. So it means that the teachers have taken back something which they would not have done if not for us asking for them to give importance to such things. So that is one example. That is we are very happy. I mean, the most important thing is both the goals have to be aligned as soon as possible. I mean, only then both of them can flourish.
Thank you. That's a very important message in goal alignment and how that can make or break a partnership.
Definitely.
I'd like to shift gears a little bit and talk about the role of education leadership in all of this. For a long time, NGOs have been focusing on direct interventions where they're working with teachers or school leaders maximum, and then enabling things that happen in the classroom, talking specifically about education. More recently, we've seen a shift in NGOs also focusing on education leadership at all levels. What role do you think education leader has to play in accelerating the impact of the intention that NGOs hold, that senior leadership like you hold?
I have been through two different bosses. I mean, I've seen go through earlier approach towards NGOs, CSOs, and their work. Basically, at that point of time, we had we had an agreement. I mean, the education department had an agreement with almost 22 CSOs, and everyone were working in their own isolations, and some were there were repetition in some place, duplication of efforts in some places. So even today, for to be frank, there is some not proper management of how so I felt even at that point of time I wanted a more better monitoring of their work, so that there is we can avoid such duplications, and we can every corner of the state where the requirement, I mean, we can ensure that at least there is equitability of service provided across the state. So that was one which was lacking. I feel that a leadership at level, I mean, if we are the want to expertise of the CSOs to be part of a policy, this leadership has to be is necessary. And coming back to how it was earlier and now, even now we are not exactly aligning every CSO's strengths and weaknesses towards our policy, because it's still one part. There's just too much distraction right now, like in infrastructure developments and teacher attendance. Even we are answering the basic questions right now. So this has to fall. This has to some point of time in the future, near future, it will come back into our priority.
Right.
So the leadership role has to recognize this very soon. These are very there's a lot of finance out there. I mean, the budget we might not be able to access government, so they have the expertise. Sooner or later, the leadership has to recognize this and start giving more and more importance. Like just for example, I had given importance to one particular CSO, not just one. I mean, a couple of CSOs in our. So we are helping each other out. So, but we think there is more potential out there which need to be tapped.
That's the kind of hope that we want to operate with as well. Thank you so much for sharing that. One question I have is, now what is the role of the three key players in enabling education equity? The three key players being Samaj, Sarkar, and Bazaar.
See, that is why whenever we talk about improving the system in itself, if you're talking about education system itself, we think that the student is the most important. But no, student is the one. Children are basically students are children who are not majors yet. Many children are not able to take a decision for themselves. So basically, we must focus on the people who decide for them at that age. So that is where Samaj comes in. I mean, Samaj in the sense teachers, their own parents and the teacher, where the children spend most of their lives only with these two faces, apart from their same age group friends. So we have to focus on the Samaj, I mean, with the teachers. I mean, teachers, we have to, you do a good work, parents will come to you, be the honey and the flies will come to you.
Right.
So be the kind of, I mean, improve, take interest on the student's life, the parents will be willing to come to you to listen to you during your PTMs.
Right.
So PTMs are strengthened, so there is good healthy communication between them. So Samaj is there. So when you talk about Sarkar obviously has to take the leadership role in this, which if it does not take the leadership role, then CSOs think that they have to go ahead and start doing things, which again, I don't have any problem when CSOs take the leadership role, but the thing is, it becomes too ad hoc. It is not sustainable. I mean, it changes, their priorities change over the year, and next year that becomes a different priority. So they are left out without any more support. I mean, whichever initiative you had started. So that is why the government has to create a sustainable system. I feel the government has to play the role in making whatever initiative more sustainable. So, and when it comes to Bazaar, of course, the market is a place where it will make it will support certain sections of society more. It will leave behind the weaker sections. So government has to play the bridge between to playing the welfarist state, try to bridge the gap between I mean, what the market takes us, we should I mean, market goes faster in pace than the government. So we have to either slow down the market, or we have to reach the pace of this one. So meet somewhere in between. There are too many initiatives, too many new concepts which are cropping up, which people say are important for children's health, but it's practically it's not possible to focus on all at the same time. So we have to try draw a line between all these three. it's nice the way that you said it is very nice. The three Sarkar, Bazaar, and Samaj. So it's a very interesting concept, which we of course we can deep delve into it.
Keeping that interplay in mind is one of the reasons that we've started engaging in dialogue in Invoked. So I'd like a quick comment on how important you think dialogues and conventions like Invoked are important to the acceleration of impact in the education equity space.
Yeah, I mean, looking at how they have arranged this Invoked, where state leaders, earlier leaders, are actually coming into a single platform and express and sharing their experiences and views. Today, I have been given the opportunity to spend some time with the audience to share my experiences. Basically, I'm not here to give any advice to anyone, just to share my views and to take what may out of it. I feel that experiences are something that come out of a lot of effort, individual dedication. I think such things have to be shared as much as possible. We might not be, it's not necessarily required that everyone will be influenced by it. At least if a couple of people are able to get inspired by such a meeting, by such a conversation, I mean, I think that is success in itself. So I feel that these programs, these conventions and these summits have to be done in a more frequent manner. It's not just about spending a yearly budget. It's more about, it is beyond that. We should think beyond it. Definitely there is a positive in it. I mean, definitely people will take away many things out of it. There is sharing of good practices from other states. It's an opportunity not just for the person who's giving, it's certainly to learn also, not just teaching, but learning is also taking place. So we hardly get to these opportunities when we are in the usual office setup. So this is a good place to refresh our mind, to reset, to restart, like how they say in that movie, to sit back and restart and work towards a better future. Thanks.
Thank you. That's the goal, and we hope that you have a good time here today.
Yeah, sure.
We're also very excited to learn from you today and your experiences. We're now going to move into our last segment, which is the rapid fire. And if you're already familiar, I'll just ask you a bunch of fast, fun questions, and you don't have too much time to think, so just say whatever's on your mind.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Flying.
Flying. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
What's the most adventurous thing you've done?
Bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. If you could master any skill instantly, what would it be?
Mind reading.
Beach or mountains?
Beach. I'm a Piscean.
Amazing. And one message to teachers?
Do your duty.
Do your duty. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show today. And we hope to catch up with you some other time as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. This is it for this segment of Up Close and Personal at Invoked. We'll see you next time.